Okay, guys, so before I get into this episode, I gotta tell you guys about this amazing app that I found for podcasters. If you are interested in podcasting, never had a podcast before, know nothing about podcasting, I'm telling you, you want to download this app. It's called the Anchor app. Now, the Anchor app has literally everything you could ever need to build your podcast for absolutely $0. I am not joking. It's literally what I use to record my podcast every week. If you are at all interested in getting into the game, you want resources, you want to be able to record with friends, you want to be able to have all the things that you need basically as a starter kit, you want to download this app. Just go to anchor.fm and get started. Guys, you're going to thank me later, I'm telling you. Hey, coming through just you or your crew, I just want to tell you about some news you could use with the All Black Matters Pod. Hey. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the All Black Matters Podcast. Hey, I'm your girl Rivka. Y'all know how we do here. We get into all things Black culture related, cover everything from pop culture to personal experiences and everything in between. And this week, I got a good episode for you guys. I think it's good. I hope you guys will like it. All right. So guys, I know I usually have like a topic that I stick to for, if not most, some of the podcast episode. I'll just kind of like have this, I guess, springboard topic to kind of go from. This week is a little different because this week I have things that I have like in the ethos or, what's going on around, social media really, but I don't have a specific one topic to talk about. So y'all just gonna chill me today and we just gonna talk. No topics really, just kind of like what I've been just doing and seeing and experiencing this week. How about that? I hope you don't hear it, but if you do hear like sirens and horns honking. Why can't I speak? This morning I have my windows open because it is hot and I wanted to let some fresh air into the room. So that's what you'll be hearing. I apologize if it's distracting. Okay, so this week for me has been, I would say, really eventful. These past few weeks, actually. I moved recently on the 1st. I was living in Crown Heights, where my family lives, and I moved out to BedStuy. And even though it's like really not far, if you know Brooklyn, like it's not a huge difference, at least from where I was like staying. I was closer to like Eastern Parkway area. So the area that I live in now isn't far from where I was living, probably like 20 minutes away from where I was living before. But I could just see such a difference like already. And first of all, I'm hype that I'm like out of my parents' house and out of my family's house. That's first. And so I'm really happy about that. And I'm even happier that I had the privilege, the grace, I would say, to do so at a time like this when, it is hard, for a lot of people. And it's just a lot going on, right now. And so I know people are struggling and, facing a lot of different things. And so I'm grateful that I was even able to make a move like this. So that's the first part. But the second part of what I was going to say is it's just such a difference, I've missed Brooklyn so much, guys. And it's like you don't realize that you miss a place until you either are away from it or you have the privilege of coming back for a little bit. You're like, I actually like my city, like this is not bad. But when I was in London, it's just like I used to think in like, you just have those like reminiscent thoughts or you kind of like, I'll have certain things. I remember when I was in London, I had certain things that I would just specifically remember. Like I would remember like going up Nostrand and hearing music playing, for instance, or turning into like either like Eastern Parkway or like a park, like as a park, I forget the name of the park that used to be by me, but a park right there and like, seeing somebody or like tasting a certain like, I used to go to Gloria's all the time and like I would just remember certain things like about, just the area that I used to live in. And so first of all, it's nice to be back. And I think I say that also because now that certain restrictions are kind of lifted, we're still kind of in this pandemic era, but it's like now we're able to kind of like do more. So it's only been these past couple weeks where I've been actually outside, like I actually went to the store like yesterday, actually. Yeah, I went to the store yesterday to pick up some stuff from Century 21, and like I'm actually seeing my city again, if that makes sense. So I guess all of these kind of like, I guess this perspective that I'm like kind of like, oh my gosh, like I actually love Brooklyn and stuff like that is coming back to me because I'm seeing it, you know what I mean? Like more so, whereas before when we were in the pandemic, I was in lockdown, I was in the house, the only place I went was on my roof, and I even got in trouble for that. So, I don't know. It's really nice to kind of see Brooklyn. But the differences, I would say, between like the area I live in now and the area I was living in before is, I just think primarily like the people. So I've always complained. I think I even had an episode about this where I was just talking about how gentrified Crown Heights is. Like Crown Heights was like the first to go. Like when we talk about Brooklyn and like the whole like phases of, people coming in and the environment changing and everything like that, I feel like Crown Heights was the first to go. And so it was very, like I saw it happen very quickly. And because I grew up in Crown Heights, like, born and raised in Crown Heights. So I kind of, as soon as it happened, I immediately noticed, you know what I mean? So when I was living there, obviously there's a whole lot of cafes and there's a whole lot of like, different kind of like quote unquote trendy things, new things or whatever the case may be. Whereas like where I am now is still real black, and I love that. And like I was telling my cousin the other day, like that's one thing I really, really love about the area I'm in now. Even though like we have nice things, there's things, we have city bikes, we have our little cafes and everything. I can't get as much vegan food as I would get, if you didn't know I'm vegan. But, or I would say plant-based, because I'm not sitting here, with the leather and everything. I ain't got there yet, child. But I would say I am plant-based. So in Crown Heights, there was a lot more options, I would say, close by. Whereas over here, there aren't as many options. But we do have our city bikes. We have our little cafes. We have, there are certain places where you can go and get stuff. And I'm also just very new to the area. So I probably just have to, like, look around a bit more and kind of, like, navigate. But what I love is that here it's just like, I just feel like I'm in the heart of like the style. Like I'm just feel the blackness, like, there's also like a very like, heavy Hispanic kind of like influence too. Like if you go kind of more towards, it's kind of like almost Bushwick area, so I also like that because that's something that's like very nostalgic for me. Like that's kind of like, I used to live in, on Minahan, and that's kind of like what that area was given back in the day. And it's just really, I just really feel nice, especially coming back from kind of like the microaggressions and kind of like racist things that I experienced when I was in London, because I was surrounded by white people, child. And just coming back and being able to like finally be blessed to have a place that is in the heart of the culture and everything that I kind of stand for and love. It's just really, really nice. So that's kind of like what I've been doing this week. I've been kind of like walking around my neighborhood and seeing what's going on. And there's so many murals. Oh my God. Like the murals over here, guys, beautiful. It's just so nice. Like sometimes you just got to kind of like sit back and just admire, an area. Cause I remember the reason why I can also say so emphatically how much I appreciate Brooklyn now is because, child, before I went to London, I was like, I'm trying to get the ASAP. Like I was trying to go. I was not trying to be in New York. All I had known was New York, and I just really, really wanted to get a different change, like a change of scenery, live somewhere else, be a part of a different like environment, kind of see the world and stuff like that. And those things are all still true. I'm probably going to be traveling to the day I die. But, I was so adamant about leaving the city because I was just like, I'm over it. I don't get it. I don't see what everybody's, so up in arms about Brooklyn, da, da, da. And now that I've been away, I can kind of see the beauty in like the place that I'm from, so I was not like a proud, what you call Brooklynite, whatever you call it. Like I was not one of those people. I was just someone that lived here and said it. And I even used to get upset when people used to ask me like, oh, are you really from Brooklyn? I'm just like, child, it's not even that deep. Like, relax, So, but now I kind of like, I have a different appreciation. And that's something that I've been kind of soaking in this week. So I have been plugged into social media too. But listen, I only catch certain pieces. There's certain things that happen and I'm just like, it goes over my head. Like, I remember, I don't know what day, I think it was 4th of July that everyone was kind of saying all countries matter and stuff. And I had no idea what that was about, child. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. I saw it at one point and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know what that, I don't even like get the origin of that. So that's just to say, like, there's certain things that happen and I'm just like not, like, I'm so busy like settling into my new place and, try to keep myself together as far as like all of the moving parts in my life, that I sometimes miss some stuff. So, but one thing I did catch, y'all, I caught the whole Jada, Will, August situation that just kind of transpired recently. And child, I thought that was interesting. I guess what I've known about like Will and Jada is that I know that there's rumors about them having like, a kind of like different kind of relationship, kind of like more open, other parties involved, etc. And then, I know Jada had the red table talk with Will and kind of talked about how they have a different approach to their relationship. I know that they, also didn't really call it a marriage at one point. Like, I don't know, like they had different agreements and things like that. So now that we kind of find out that, August was a part of this, the entanglements, as she called it. Ooh, child, that was so funny to me. Like, I know this is like their real life and stuff, but the fact that this woman, let me not, but the fact that she couldn't say, the relationship that I had with this, this man, she had the, entanglement. I was like, that is jokes. And obviously the internet ran with it. But I did see that. I didn't really see what August said. Like, I know he had I know he's the one that started the conversation, right? But I don't know exactly what he said. I just know by the time I tuned into, social media and stuff, that he had said that Will had given August permission to be with Jada, so to speak, right? And that's why I guess Jada and Will had to respond with the red table talk, where she brought herself, or I guess Will brought her to the red table chat. I don't know. But I guess that's what she had to clarify and say, like, he did not give permission, but she understands how he could have thought that. Because I did watch the red table talk. I just don't know. I didn't watch the whole interview with August and stuff like that. Because as I said, I go in and out of these things. So, but I did think it was interesting, the whole conversation about having other parties involved in your marriage. I always find it to be like fascinating because, like, for me in my family and my environments and stuff like that, that hasn't been a common thing. Like, it hasn't been something that I've seen for a long time or been introduced to earlier on. I think it's kind of like a newer concept, at least in my circles. So whenever I hear people kind of like talking about open relationships or being not being monogamous and things like that, it's just kind of interesting because I'm like, wow, how does that work? Like, how does everything balance out? What's also interesting about that situation is that August was so, I guess, broken at the time. So it kind of makes you look at everything a little bit differently too. It's just like, this man was kind of going through a lot at the time. But also Jada said that she was as well. So I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that the whole internet is kind of taking that and, it's memes, it's jokes, it's everything. The internet is undefeated. I mean, come on. What else is interesting about that is that, like, it's so crazy how, like, as a celebrity, and I know, like, it comes with the territory, but, like, everybody's in your business. Like, if you get to that level of, like, stardom and things like that, like, how everyone has a say and how everyone can, like, redefine who you are, because there's so many pods and so many, like, shows and so many people that have an opinion now about, like, what is Jada right, is Jada wrong, and, is Will right, is Will wrong, why did August say, it's so many different people that have so much to say about these people's personal lives. And I mean, even me, look at me talking about it, and it's like, it's interesting because it's like you don't get a chance to kind of work whatever out. Like, even she had said on the red table talk, like, she hasn't even spoken to August. So she doesn't even know where his head is at right now. She doesn't even know why they brought it up, why he brought it up now. I know Jada and we were having that discussion as well. And it's like, but everybody else has something to say about something that they don't even really have resolved. Like, I'm just like, damn, that has to be tough. That has to be like, that has to be so tough, because I don't even know what I would do in that situation. And then you got to keep cool. Now you feel like the fact that they even had to bring it up, like, stardom is crazy. The fact that you felt like people have your name all over the place, so much so that you feel like you have to clear it up for the public to understand what really happened. Like, this ain't even nobody's business, like, this ain't even nobody's business. And to be fair, yes, August did bring it up and, like, put it out into the public, but, like, the fact that they feel like now, damn, now we got to actually, kind of put out a statement now, like let's have a red table talk about it because child, everybody talking about it. So we might as well. So I don't know. I just think that's really like, damn, but I guess that's what it is when you sign up for this life. I know you guys probably have like a lot of opinions about that too. So let me know either by email, hit me up on All Black Matters podcast and tell me what you think about that whole situation. Cause I would like to know if any of you guys do have kind of like an open relationship or any other variation of something like that you've been kind of in for a while. Like, what is that like? Cause that's something that I do find interesting. Tell me your experiences and what your take on the whole Jada plus Will plus August situation. Another thing that I kind of been on, I caught up on I May Destroy You yesterday, and child, that show is like something that I feel like is so needed. Oh my gosh, especially me coming back from like London and seeing it on screen in a way that I feel like is more real. Obviously, I am not a true Brit, so I can't sit up here and be like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's not what I can't do all of that. But being a part of like, the Black culture scene there and going out and kind of like knowing what that life is like, a little bit, I can see that like I kind of connect with or I can relate to a little bit more I May Destroy You than some of the other like Black British television shows that have been out. Obviously, I'm not a road man. I don't be, so I can't talk about, Top Boy and all that other stuff because that's not the life I live, child. I went out there for school. I'm a good girl. No, I'm just kidding. But I could just see that like at least the friend dynamic between the main characters and just like, it's just really nice to see it be so depicted so real. Like Michaela, girl, she out here acting like, oh, like I love that she is like the main character. I love the way that she acts. I love how unapologetic she is as an actress. I love that her face. I think I've said this before, but like I just love seeing her strength and like everything that she brings to that role is such a beautiful thing to watch. And it just feels fearless. It feels unapologetic. It feels like I'm here, watch me. You know what I mean? It's just, I love it. I love the fact that they have a gay friend, but it's not just like this. Like every time they do a gay friend, especially if he's Black, he's very effeminate. He's very, at least in American, a lot of American shows, which I think we need to get a whole lot better at, child. Because not every Black man that is gay is effeminate. That's just not the way that works. But I love that in this dynamic in the friend group, like the gay friend he has his own story. You know what I mean? Like, I just like that everyone has, I feel like a true, authentic, like how a friend group would be. I know that the main character's name is Brittany, and I think they call her something else sometimes. Like, I don't know what that's about. But anyways, I just like to see the dynamic between the friends. And even more so than that, I like how deep it is, even though like to me, it kind of caught me off guard at first. Like the fact that they're talking about, this might be a spoiler for people who haven't watched it. So just throwing it out there before you continue to listen. I'm a little bit invested, I don't get invested in shows like that. But this show, I feel like I'm probably going to be even more invested because of just like the dynamic between every person, every person in the friend group. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and tell you I remember all the names. I'm talking about different forms of assault. They're talking about it, not just from a perspective of like a woman and a man, but like from a gay lens. I like the fact that they're touching on topics without it feeling like you should not touch a woman in this way or you should not touch a man in this way. Like it's just really how shit happens sometimes. And people end up in situations where it's like, oh shit, was I just assaulted? Well, how did that, you know what I mean? And you have to kind of go through that reckoning process where it's like, shit, what am I going to do? How do I feel about this? What are my next steps even? Like, do I tell people? How do I tell people? Like, I think it's so important for that conversation to be had. And I think that the way that they're doing it is such a delicate way. I have to look up and see who the writers are for that. Cause that's amazing writing. Cause they did that, man. They did that. I watched that the other day. Haven't really been watching a whole lot of TV. I've been kind of just on YouTube. I kind of live on YouTube these days. I'm not going to lie. I just watch my favorite YouTubers all the time. If you guys want to know, I think I've said this a million times. I feel like at this point, y'all know my life. I did want to let you guys know, though, I do have a couple conversations coming up on the pod. I'm excited to introduce you guys to a couple people that I've met and people that I know and just kind of have... candid conversations with people. I mean, I guess you can call them, I just like to call them like convos, because I think interviews sounds really, I don't know, like sit down while I interview you. And I don't want it to, I just didn't want that to be the feel of the conversations that I've had. But I do ask some questions, and you guys will probably gain a lot from the conversations that I'm going to be having. And that's been what I've been also working on a lot. So you guys will have those coming up really soon. I hope you guys have been amazing. I hope you guys have been, even though this is not, I don't know if we could call this a hot girl summer. I don't know if we could call this a hot summer. I don't know what we could call this, because I kind of feel like everything is on dry right now. But I do know stuff is happening. I would just say be safe, guys. You know, continue to remember that we are still in this time of pandemic. There is still coronavirus out there. People are getting sick and affected by that. So just be very wise about that. But enjoy the summer, okay? Enjoy the beauty that is the summertime, because we don't always have that. I hope you guys have been well. I hope you guys continue to be well. Don't forget to reach out to me. Talk to your girl. Talk to your girl. Talk to your... I'm always dancing and singing. But reach out to me. You guys already know All Black Matters podcast. Follow the All Black Matters podcast, guys. Follow us. I'm saying us like it's not me putting in all my energy into that thing. But follow the All Black Matters podcast. I want that to be our space. That's why I'm saying us. And if you also want to kind of like have a chance to be on the pod, like also let me know that, because I'm open to it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you guys this week. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the week. And I'll talk to you guys again next week. Peace.